Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. You can watch this program on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's Radyo Pilipinas World Service, and you can hear this broadcast on our audio streaming over PBS Evox receiver app, and also on our shortwave broadcast through following shortwave frequencies: 12.020 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.665 MHz. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Let's begin Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Yesterday, Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte officially announced her bid or intention to run for the presidency in the 2028 presidential elections on February 18, 2026. That declaration marks the official split from her former ally, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., and sets the stage for a high-stakes political battle. During a press conference in Manila yesterday, Vice President Duterte confirmed her intention to seek the country's highest office and at the same time sharply criticized the current administration, accusing President Marcos Jr. of presiding over a period of what she called rampant corruption and failing to deliver on his campaign promises. And at the same press conference, she apologized for helping Marcos secure the presidency, among other social issues or among other things. Duterte's announcement comes at a particularly turbulent time for her family and her political career, such as the looming impeachment or threats and her father's case at the International Criminal Court. And yesterday, there was a palace press briefing headed by Undersecretary Claire Castro, and she responded of the intention or the announcement of the Vice President Sara Duterte. So let's hear the portion of the press briefing in Malacanang Palace headed by Undersecretary Claire Castro as she answers questions regarding the announcement of Vice President Sara Duterte to run for presidency in 2028. Let's take a listen.
Vice President Sara Duterte has declared her intention to run for president in the 2028 elections. What does the palace have to say about this?
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Have you spoken to the president about this development at ano pong sabi niya?
Nadinig niya po. At ang sabi niya po ay good luck. Yun lamang po. At nadinig niya po ang mga sinabi na pinagsisisihan at humihingi ng patawaran itong sa Vice Presidente.
At yun nga po, may mga bahagi nga yung kanyang pahayag that the palace might want to respond to. Unang-una, if I may quote, sa unang mga buwan ng aming mga termino, nakita ko na ang kawalan ng katapatan ni Bongbong Marcos Jr. sa mga pangako binitiwan ng kampanya. At kasunod po nito, humingi siya ng patawad kung tinulungan daw niyang mahalal si BBM bilang Pangulo.
Okay, isa-isahin natin. Mas maganda po yan. Humingi siya ng kapatawaran dahil tinulungan niya sa pangangampanya. Tandaan po natin, ang taong bayan ang naghalal kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. Kung ano man po ang natulong niya, pareho naman po sila nagtulungan dahil ito ay unity team. Kaya wag niya pong solohin ang credit kung nanalo man ang Pangulo. At nakikita ngayon ng Pangulo, at rather ng mga kababayan natin, kung sino ba nagtatrabaho. Isang working president compared sa Vice Presidente.
Isa pa ho, again, if I may quote, di ko kinaya maging bahagi ng 2025 budget na tadtad ng katiwalian. Pinili kong umalis sa gabinete kahit alam ko na since 2023 ang magiging kapalit ang aking impeachment.
Pinag-uusapan po ba ang korupsyon, ang katiwalian? Siguro po dapat mauna muna na ihingi niya ng tawad kung ano man ang mga issue ng korupsyon at katiwalian at di umanong paglulustay ng confidential funds ng kanyang dalawang opisina at the time, OVP at ng DepEd. Kung meron pang napipintong impeachment, ito po ay dahil sa kanyang kagagawan mismo. Kung wala naman siyang ginawa na mga maanumalya at labag sa konstitusyon, hindi naman po siguro siya masasampahan ng mga impeachment complaints.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Ivy Reyes, Bilyonaryo.
Follow-up lang po, Yusek. Makabayan Block said that the premature presidential bid of the Vice President is a move to shield herself from the impeachment. Does the palace share this sentiment, or what can you say about that?
Maaari, kanilang opinion, pero dapat tandaan po natin, balikan po natin. Dahil sasabi niya, para ma-shield siya sa mga impeachment complaints. Hindi po basta-basta ito dapat mahadlangan ng anumang pagreklamo laban sa kanya. Sinabi niya kanina na hiningi niya ng tawad dahil nalulunod tayo sa baha. Pero tandaan po natin, ilan po bang flood control projects merong itinatag? Di umano ang kanyang ama. 13,917 na flood control projects na mukhang hindi naramdaman. Dahil kung meron 13,917 flood control projects, dapat naramdaman natin at medyo humupa ang pagbaha sa Pilipinas. Huwag niya rin pong kalimutan. Ito, akin pong kinuha ng mga report. 2016, meron pong local lane na bagyo na Nina na nagdulot din ng pagbaha. 2017, Orduha. 2018, Ompong. Nagkaroon ng massive landslide sa Benguet. 2019, Tisoy. 2020, Ambo. Lahat po ito ay may pagbaha. Taong 2020, Rolly. Ito po ang strongest landfalling typhoon noong 2020. Nandyan din po ang Ulysses, Odette at Agaton. So, hindi po pwedeng magmalinis na wala nangyaring pagbabaha sa panahon ng kanyang ama. At nandito pa rin po ang ibang report at aking ipapakita. 2021, nagkaroon po na malawakang pagbaha sa Davao City kahit walang bagyo. Ito po ang isa. At ang sumusunod, ito lamang po ang aking naiprint at marami pa po if you will research. Duterte's sluggish typhoon Reich recovery spending. Ayan po ang nangyari. Taong 2021. Hindi niya po makakaila ang mga pangyayaring ito. Kaya wag niyang ipahid lamang sa Pangulo ang sinasabing pagbabaha. Dahil kung meron pong naganap na mga build, at kung talagang walang ghost projects ang dating nakaraang administrasyon, yan natin mararanasan ang ganitong klaseng pagbabaha. 2018, faced with disaster, Duterte falls from view. Ito po, at that time, ay wala at hindi makita ang dating Pangulong Duterte. So, ang mga issue pong ito, marami pa po siyang dapat na ihingi ng tawad. Akin pong i-enumerate. At mukhang nakalimutan niya itong ihingi ng tawad. Una po, mas dapat niyang inunang humingi ng tawad sa taumbayan, lalong-lalo na sa mga biktima ng EJK. Dapat niya rin pong ihingi ng tawad at nakalimutan niya nang siya ay magsabing mayroon siyang kilalang assassin at handa siyang magpapatay. At ang assassin na to ay nag-agree or sumang-ayon sa kanyang plano. Dapat ihingi niya rin ng tawad ang mga fake news na ibinandera niya sa taong bayan. Ipaghingi rin niya po ng tawad ang mga pagbabakasyon, personal trip, at itong taon na 2025 ay gumastos ng 7 million, if I'm not mistaken, 2025, gumastos ng 7 million for the staff and the security for her personal trips. Dapat po rin niyang ihingi ng tawad nang tinanggap niya ang pagiging sekretary ng DepEd kahit inamin niya na wala siyang kaalam-alam sa pagiging sekretary ng DepEd. At pati ang matatag curriculum ay hindi niya na-review dahil inamin niyang wala siyang alam. Malaking kasalanan po yan sa taong bayan. At dapat din po niyang ihingi ng tawad ang puro paninira. Instead na siya ay magtrabaho at tumulong sa gobyerno. Matatandaan niyo siguro nung sinabi niyang siya ay may alam di umano na mapababa ang presyo ng bigas. Pero hindi niya gagawin dahil wala siyang balak tulungan ang Pangulo. Iyan po ay isang kasalanan sa bayan na dapat niyang ihingi ng tawad. Ihingi niya na rin po ng tawad yung mga fake na student vouchers na ngayon ay sabi ng DepEd ay umaabot na sa halagang 200 million pesos. Ihingi niya na rin po ng tawad ang mga panis at nabubulok na pagkain na i-deliver sa mga mag-aaral natin. Pati po yung mga missing school materials na hindi na-deliver sa mga estudyante. Ilan lamang po yan sa dapat niyang ihingi ng tawad sa bayan.
USEC Senator Risa recently said that the opposition isn't sure yet whether they would need to form an alliance with the president's camp to slay the vice president's candidacy in 2028. Is the administration open to the idea of forming an alliance with the opposition?
Hindi po napag-uusapan. Sa ngayon, hindi pa po yan napag-uusapan. Meron nga po tayong kasabihan at ito'y nabanggit ko na. Ang pagkakaiba ng politician at ng statesman. Ang politician, ang iniisip, ang susunod na eleksyon. Ang statesman, ang iniisip ang susunod na henerasyon. Sa ngayon po ay wala pa po na pag-uusapan at kung meron pong magiging update patungkol po dyan ay ibibigay po agad namin sa inyo.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Marisol Halili, TV5.
Yusek, magandang umaga. Just one question po. Nabanggit nga kasi kanina ni VP Sara na patawad kung natulungan niyang manalo si PBBM. Is the President also feel the same way? Does the President also feel the same way?
Na
Na
hihingi niya ng
sorry
tawad.
dahil naging kapartner niya, katandem niya si VP Sara during the campaign?
Malamang hindi naman po alam ng Pangulo na ang kanya magiging presidente ay puro bakasyon. At mga vice-presidente na puro bakasyon. Vice-presidente na hindi siya tutulungan. Vice-presidente na ang magiging trabaho ay manira sa gobyerno. Hindi naman niya pagsisisihan kung ano nangyari. Ang gagawin lamang po ng Pangulo ay magtrabaho. Kung hindi siya tutulungan ng kanyang vice-presidente, wala naman po magagawa ang ating Pangulo, kundi magtrabaho na lamang para sa ating bayan.
But ano po ang tingin ng Palace now na nagdeklara na ng kandidatura si VP Sara? Do you feel that she is a strong candidate? Mahirap tibagin? How does the administration feel about it?
Wala po nararamdaman ng palasyo patungkol dyan. Depende na po sa tao kung paano nilang susuriin ang mga kandidato. Isipin po nila ang kandidato at magiging leader ay dapat na makabayan. Dapat interes ng bayan ang sinusulong. At maging cautious tayo, maging mapanuri kung isang Manchurian candidate ba ang maiboboto nyo.
Sunod na tanong mula kay Ann Soberano, Bomboradio.
Yusek, reaction lang din ng Malacanang. Ang pag-anunsyo po ngayong ka-early ni BP Sara ng kanyang presidential bid para sa 2028 ay isa po daw strategic political move na layong i-shape yung public perception. Probably po humihingi siya ng suporta at maibaba yung impact sa impeachment complaints laban sa kanya. Reaction po.
Kaya nga po sinabi natin isa siya na maituturing na politician. Politician na ang iniisip ay ang susunod na eleksyon. Ang iniisip ay yung pansarili na interes, hindi ang taong bayan. So yun lang po ang nakikita natin kung bakit kaya kailangan niyang magdeklara na siya ay tatakbo na sa pagkapangulo sa susunod na eleksyon.
Pilipinas World Service.
And that was Palace Press Officer and Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro as she answers some questions from reporters regarding the announcement of the Vice President Sara Duterte to run for presidency in 2028 presidential elections. As Yusek Castro addressed issues thrown by the vice president, particularly the corruption issue, and at the same time the President Marcos Jr. breaking his campaign promise. And what does this mean of the announcement of the vice president, and how this will this play out in political scene? So joining me now in the program is the political analyst and professor of political science at the University of Santo Tomas, Dr. Froilan Calilong. Good morning, Dr. Calilong. Thank you so much for joining us in the program Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Yes. Good morning, Jerome, and good morning to all our viewers. And thank you always for having me.
All right. Okay, so yesterday, Vice President Sara Duterte announced her 2028 presidential bid. On the same day, a fourth impeachment complaint was filed. Although this fourth impeachment complaint was filed last night. So, how do you view this move, Dr. Kalilong?
Well, actually, this is something that we already expected. I mean, her declaration, although we didn't know that it will come this early, but it's a good thing that she already made the manifestation to run, primarily because this will put an end to the speculations, both from her supporters and her opponents, as to whether she will run or not, okay? And I think this, on the part of her supporters, this will give them enough leverage to actually, muster enough courage to go up against all those challenges that is being hurled against the vice president. And on the part of her opponents, this will also give an opportunity for them to actually strategize, recalibrate their options, and try to come up with a better plan to actually match the presidential bid of the vice president. So this things here right now that's happening, I think is as a part of the political process. Of course, the vice president feeling that she's been under scrutiny for the past 3 years, and that there are a lot of institution-led issues that were used up against her, and so I think she's just exercising her right to her political right, to run for public office, and this is exactly what happened yesterday.
So that's regardless of the timing, whether she is facing legal challenges and also her political threats to her political career. So it's inevitable, you say, Dr. Kalilong, that her declaration is expected.
Yeah. Well, it will be determined by her and solely by her alone. No? If the reason why she manifested to run yesterday is to actually block any kind of impeachment proceeding, because I think whether she declared or not that she's going to run, there will always be an impeachment complaint that will fight against her. As we saw that yesterday, there was another impeachment complaint that was filed. But the true test here is whether or not this will gain enough traction in the Congress, especially right now that she already made the clear manifestation that she's going to run. I think many of our congressmen who voted to impeach her last year in the 19th Congress may now actually be recalibrating their options because, number one, there is really no incentive for them to actually vote for the impeachment. The Speaker of the House is no longer Martin Romualdez. That's another thing. The elections is very near, and they already saw the firepower of VP Inday Sara in the last election. So many of them may be thinking, recalibrating their options and see whether or not it's going to be a rational decision for them to vote in favor of the impeachment, or to run the safer ground of abstaining perhaps, or not voting in favor of her being impeached.
All right. Okay. I will ask a question regarding that point, Dr. Kalilong. But Vice President Duterte apologized yesterday for helping President Marcos win the presidency. Also, she apologized for all the woes and problems that the Philippines and Filipinos are facing, particularly in the economy, health, corruption, food security, job security, among others. Yet, there are programs and initiatives that the Marcos Jr. administration has in store for every Filipino, such as running after corrupt officials and contractors involved in flood control projects. Also, the cheap rice programs like the Benting Bigas Meron Na, and also assistance to individuals in crisis situation, the fight against illegal smuggling, job fairs, among others. So, how do you see those things that Duterte and Marcos are saying and doing?
Well, of course, let's face the fact that the bridge that connects both of them, had been burned a long time ago, right? And whatever it is that they're seeing right now, I think is a clear manifestation of whatever they feel for each other at the moment. Because you see, strong words were already hurled against each other, actions were already done or committed in the past, and so. Definitely, the feeling is that of animosity. Maybe there's still a bit of respect, no. Pero what I'm seeing is that because of the many things that have been said and done in the past, I think right now there's really no turning back, and it's really irreparable. And I think what the vice president is saying is that she was a part of it. She was a part of the reason why we are in this situation right now. There's admission on her part, but at the same time, she's also offering herself as the solution. So it's not just the admission that there's a problem, because we know that there's really a problem. The flood control scandal is a big issue that has yet to be resolved. And many others, and I think this is what the vice president is trying to offer right now. That she was a part of the problem, but right now she also wants to emerge as a viable option and possibly a solution.
Okay. Having said that, Dr. Kalilong, has the Uniteam Alliance officially dead, and has she become the official face of the opposition, right, as she declared the intention to run for president?
I think it's been dead like 3 years ago. No? As early as 2023, it's already dead. No? Especially when the machinations against the VP actually was started by Martin Romualdez way back when she was still the deputy secretary, among others. And I really felt that this was a very flimsy unit team to begin with. I mean many times over I've mentioned that there appears to be very little common ground for them. And in terms of principles, leadership style, in terms of beliefs, they're totally in opposite. And it's really a marriage for convenience, I would say, to secure the position in 2022. Other than that, there's nothing, and I think what happened was that the lines have been drawn, and the president already made a choice between Martin Romualdez and her a long time ago, and that's the reason why she bolted out of the administration, and right now at least she's earning not just the sympathy, but I think some degree of sensitization regarding the things that are happening in the government at the moment, that she appears not to be part of it, although she's the vice president, but she's not in support of what the president has been doing. And so because of that, the public perception is that she is not a party to all these things that are happening to us at the moment.
Okay, all right. Also, 2 years from now, it will be presidential elections. So, how does this early declaration risk overexposing her to attacks, or is it a necessary move to consolidate her political base?
Well, I think even without the declaration, she has been already exposed to attacks, even if she didn't will it, even if she did not ask for it, and even if she did not declare any intention to run, at least until yesterday, she was already open to a lot of attacks for the past 3 years. And I think it's already very clear to her that all the moves that are being done by the administration or by the opposition, the third force, the progressives, the Dilawans or the Piklawans are really aimed at derailing her, and she understands this very well now. She knows the dynamics, and so I believe that even if she declared early on, if ever there will be other other machinations or other issues that will be hurled against her, that we have yet to see. Now, but so far, the biggest stumbling block is only the impeachment. But right now, with the declaration and with the eventual votation that will happen in the Congress, we shall see how this development will affect, like I said, the intention and the motivations of our congressmen to vote for or against her impeachment.
I see. And would there be a possibility that some lawmakers, both House and the Congress, will jump ship and support Sarah? And as we know, impeachment case or impeachment trial is a numbers game. So, how do you see the
Yeah.
current composition of the Senate affecting her chances of acquittal compared to the House?
Well, I think there's really a greater deal of chance in the lower house that she will be impeached, because I think the president still maintains a supermajority in the Congress, and not to mention the fact that Sandro Marcos is the deputy floor leader. I mean the majority floor leader, and at the same time, Martin Romualdez still maintains a somewhat kind of leverage in the Congress, even if he's no longer the speaker. So I think this could impact or affect their choice to vote for the impeachment. But then again, like I said a while ago, there may be some congressmen who were not really in favor of impeaching her last year, but by virtue of some reasons, maybe incentives offered to them or whatever it is, they chose to sign. Maybe right now they're going to, be very cautious whether they're going to affix their signature or not, because the dynamics are already different. Elections are very near. She already made her manifestation that she's gonna run. The administration has been very weakened already because of the flood control scandal. The public trust and confidence in the president is very low at the moment. So all this dynamics will come into play, and will definitely create the choice of on the part of our congressmen to vote for or against the impeachment. And so, like I said, the political landscape is different. Now, in the Senate, it's going to be a different ball game, because you see the Senate, there are only 24 of them, and the magic number that is needed for them to be able to impeach or to convict the vice president, it remains to be 16. So whether or not they're going to have senators incarcerated, arrested, or whatever it is, they still need 16 to impeach or to remove an impeachable official. And the only way by which they can do this is to have members of the minority at the moment to jump ship and head into the majority. And maybe that's the only time that we can see a possibility of impeachment, if in case that they will just be relying or basing their decisions on the numbers and not really on the merits or the demerits of the case.
Okay. So, let's move forward here on the, let's say, 2028 scenario. So, who do you see? Because, as mentioned earlier, Vice President Sara Duterte has a strong political base, and at the same time, the machinery of the administration is weakened by the flood control controversy. So, in 2028, who do you see as the most viable third candidate that could challenge both the Marcos and the Duterte faction?
Well, of course, the progressives, the yellows and the pinks will always present themselves as viable alternatives, and by all means, they could actually be possible alternatives, unless they will be willing to form a coalition or enter into an alliance with the BBM camp. No? Because you see, the BBM camp, whoever they're going to support, let's say if they're going to have a standard bearer, will definitely have the political machinery and the resources to back them up. Okay, but then again, they may not have the groundswell or enough ground support, because they're very unpopular at this point.
Yeah.
Now, on the part of the progressives and the Dilawans, maybe they may not have enough resources or machineries, but they may have enough ground mobilization to mount a good run. So if they will be merging these two things, maybe they could form a possible strong coalition that could go against the vice president. Okay, but this will be contingent on many other factors. Number one, what kind of narrative are they going to play?
Yeah.
Because you see, they will be coming from very polarizing sentiments here. For a very long time, the progressives and the Dilawans are saying never again. How come right now they're going to change their mind? You know?
Right.
They're condemning BBM before and the Marcoses for all the atrocities made during the martial law. What will make them change their mind? No? And in the same thing, the Marcoses may also have reservations against the Pinks and the Dilaws. No?
Yes.
So that is something that we need to see.
As they say.
How the public will also accept the narrative that they're going to form. Because if this is going to be manufactured in such a way that this new unity, if I may call it like that, may be done within the purview and the context of better governance, economic and social reforms, then possibly it might be accepted by the public. But if the public perception is that they're just going to join forces just so as to derail the train of vice president from going full speed, then it will become self-serving, very, very political. And I think the public, instead of siding with them, may actually side furthermore with the vice president. So they are in a very, very I would say precarious position at this point. And they really need to make their assessments right so as to mount a good run for 2020.
That's right. And as I see it here, Dr. Klilung, it's a very interesting point for the voting public because there's only two positions here, either the Marcos position and also the Duterte position, and we'll see. But it's not yet 2028, but still we can see who is leading in the surveys as Octa Research and SWS survey is publishing. Anyway, so okay, still on the 2028 scenario, Dr. Kalilong, if Vice President Sara Duterte wins the presidency, just for an example, theoretically, how is it possible for her to avenge her father and turn against politicians and personalities who antagonized her and sent her father to the International Criminal Court?
Well, we don't know exactly, what will be her demeanor regarding that, especially if she is already in power. We don't know exactly if it will also resonate well with her supporters, if she was going to be vindictive. Remember that all these things that were done against her persona, against her family, are actually all personal. At this point. I think it will boil down to how well her supporters will also share the same sentiments to her, and how will this resonate to her, the sentiments of her supporters. And I think this will more or less influence her decision to avenge, if that's the right term for that, or if she's going to take the more, should I say, the more peaceful way of just letting go of the things and be a more of a unifying element in the society, because we have gone through a lot of decades or years of divisiveness, and maybe she could use her position to actually create a perception that she doesn't want to make any more enemies, and that whatever happened in the past may all be resolved, in a more peaceful and amicable manner. And maybe it could, somehow galvanize her position more of a unifying leader rather than a vindictive one. But again, it will depend on many factors. Like you said, we're just being we're theorizing and hypothetically coming up with a possible scenario. What will happen, if she becomes the president?
Okay. All right. We will see that in the next coming years. So it's a very exciting times ahead for the Filipino people. Okay. A few more questions, Dr. Kalilan, before I let you go. So, Senator Robin Padilla floated the idea of having a Duterte Marcos alliance, as he puts it, a girl group in that particular alliance. So this time between Sara Duterte and Amy Marcos. So that idea, Dr. Kalilong, is essentially, I think, a part two of an alliance between these two political heavyweights. So, should this prosper, what would be the chance that this alliance will not be the same as we witnessed between Bongbong and Sara?
Well, the first thing is that I think Amy Marcos, Senator Amy Marcos, already burned bridges with her brother, especially with the pronouncements last year, when she made the pronouncement that and confessed to the public in front of multitude crowd, in that gathering in Luneta, that her brother was a cocaine addict. Okay, and I think that's already a manifestation that there's at no given point in time that this particular problem could be patched up. And I think she has already demonstrated a considerable level of loyalty to the Dutertes. But then again, we need to understand that she still carries the badge of a Marcos.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she behaves or thinks like Bongbong Marcos, but it's the name. It's the name, and this might carry a strong impression to the public that she's still a Marcos after all, and that maybe her opponents may use it to actually create the impression that also that why is she siding with another Marcos when in fact the other Marcos that she helped did not do anything good for her. So all these things we need to see. But I think what the vice president should think right now is to find a running mate that could not supersede her personality. Remember, Sara Duterte is a very strong person, a strong-willed woman. I think what she needs is what the ideal type of vice president that she should have is somebody who is just going to support her, submissive to some extent, but not as dominant as her, so that she will be able to execute her policies, her programs, and plans of action very well without thinking that there will be opposition coming from the vice president, whoever her vice president will be. So I think Robin Padilla may actually fit the bill of having that. He has the popularity, and I think he has the ability to play the background, and let Sara Duterte do the thing, as the president. And I think Amy Marcos also has that. But other people that are being floated, like Senator Rodante Marcoleta, I don't think it's a good match because both of them are actually strong personalities. I think it's better off that Senator Rodante Marcoleta will remain in the Senate, probably become the Senate president. If in case all these things that we're talking right now are just speculations and hypothetical things. But so many things could still happen between now and 2028, as we know it. But what is very evident here is that 2028 is now unfolding in 2026. That's the reality.
And it comes early, as they say. Christmas comes in July. Okay, all right. Okay, that's right. Okay, so can I get your message to millions of voters who contributed on the election of Marcos and Duterte in the presidency? If we remember, this alliance contributed to the loss of former Vice President Leni Robredo. So, Unity candidate wins the election, yet it broke off more than a year after 2022 presidential elections.
Well, every election is always an opportunity. Every election is always a time for us to assess and analyze our positions, even our mistakes in the past. And it's always a chance for us to rectify whatever wrongdoings or wrong path that we previously have taken. And I think this elections is by no means any exception to that. The important thing right now is that we already know what happened. This unity team is something that should never have existed in the first place. Didn't produce any tangible good outcomes for us, and not only talking about the president but also the vice president to some extent, because they help each other. They help each other secure the victory. Right? That's very true. And I think the present scenario that we're in right now will only go down deeper if ever we will not be able to make the right option and deliver the right choice come 2028. So I think it's really more of an appeal. No, it's a cliche that we always say we need to vote wisely, but of course we need to really be very mindful of every possible motivation, whatever interest they may actually have at the moment, whatever degrees or layers of considerations that they actually have, why they are running. I think that's the good thing that we need to scrutinize right now. We need to be very discerning about that, and it's a good thing that they're already laying their cards early this time, so that we have ample time also to recalibrate and to see who are the people that should run the government at least this early.
All right. Very well said. Okay, and it's 2 years from now, and although it's technically far away, but we will wait and see for the developments regarding this political drama between and also the upcoming elections in the next 2 years. And with that, thank you so much for joining us in the program, political analyst and professor of political science at the University of Santo Tomas, Dr. Froilan Calilong.
Anytime. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day ahead.
And that was Dr. Froilan Calilong, political analyst. And with that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service, together with our technical team headed by Mr. Milo Junella, on Wirecast, Hiro Lucero, audio streaming, Justin Osias. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.